All right, welcome back, guys. This is Debating to the Moon and Back. I have my fabulous auntie Nelly.
Hi, people.
So today we are talking about, I guess, aging with time or aging with technology. That's what we'll call it. Advancing with technology. And so with Nelly, can you explain kind of like what's your take on technology? Like what's the use of technology and what's the purpose of advancing with technology?
For me, technology, like with our homes, it helps me feel secure because we have the home security system where we can mount cameras right outside of our door, right even on our doorbells. We can have a doorbell camera. We have, if someone enters our house, it'll alert us that the front door is open or the back door is open. So in that aspect, it just helps me feel more secure. As far as like everybody uses technology, everybody has some form of technology in our homes. Everybody, or mostly everybody, has a smartphone.
Okay.
So we use that, and just using a smartphone, like with the Facebook app. The Facebook app brought our family back together, like not just myself and my children, but our entire family back together, where we started doing family reunions again. Just it all stemmed off of Facebook because I found three of my cousins on Facebook that we hadn't seen in years. I'd start talking to them, and from that, we've what is it, our 10th or 11th year reunion, and that all stemmed just from Facebook.
Okay. So, what I'm hearing is pretty much you're saying like to stay connected to pretty much, because we're the technology age, like my group of like, I guess, generation is attached to our phones. And so when you think technology, like we're the people that right away everything is going to come through our phone.
Correct.
So you're saying, like you kind of want to get in on that. Like it's like, why are you missing out because you're in a different generation? Like you want to be just as accessible with your phone.
Not only my phone, just technology as a whole.
Okay.
Technology as a whole. And I'm not saying I want to get in on it. Well, yeah, I guess I am saying I want to get in on it, but I want to stay in tune. I want to keep evolving
Okay.
with technology because technology is here to stay. It's not going anywhere, and things are going to keep advancing.
Okay.
And either you're going to get with it or you're going to get left behind.
Okay.
Like I said, a lot of people don't like technology because for them, they think it's complicated, but it actually simplifies things. Like prime example, when we bought the house, it used to be when you bought a house, you had to go into the realtor's office. You had to do all the paperwork, stacks and stacks of paperwork, to go and view a house that was on the market. You had to actually go to the house. You now all I did was went on an app, looked at houses. If they did not fascinate me at all, I threw them out, put them to the side. I didn't even have to waste my time, my gas, going to look at this house. I could say, nope, that doesn't interest me. The houses I did like, I was able to look at every aspect of the house, like from the inside of the house, the outside of the house. They even had, they were very inscriptive on like what year the house was built. So it used to be you had to do all of this stuff manually.
Okay.
Um, Everything from finding my lender to buying my house, I did online.
Okay.
And it simplified the process so much. Even like another prime example, with the COVID thing going on, the schools closed down. The kids are still able to continue on with their education through technology, through Zoom meetings. So yeah, I think we have to stay abreast with technology.
Okay, so you touched on Zoom. I guess we'll pivot that direction now. So obviously, me being an educator, there are some flaws in Zoom. And when I say flaws, I mean total connectivity, and then even the amount of time that think about the human interaction.
Okay.
Where I think, like, yes, again, we have to stay away because of COVID. Yes, we have to stay away because it's the safety and everything. But when we look at test scores, when we look at, just total engagement, we look at learning, like there are a lot of ways where technology is kind of hindering that learning aspect.
I agree.
And so my question to you is like, yes, technology is making it accessible for us to see stuff, but how do we actually truly engage? Like that's been, I guess, like the hardest part for the.
Well, see, that's where the parents come in,
Okay.
because it's not just the student and the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the parents come in. So you have now, instead of engaging with the teacher or the educator, the parent has to be more engaged.
Okay.
And that's just it. That's the key. The parent have to be engaged. And I know it's a lot of people say, well, I don't have time. I have to go to work. I'm not a teacher. But I mean, if you're a parent, you're a lifelong teacher.
Yeah.
And that's my whole take on it. When my children were in school, we didn't have COVID or anything to keep them out of school. I think the most we had was a strike. Um, or I could even go back to my childhood and say I remember having strikes when I was, or the teachers union going on strike when I was a kid. My mother and a group of her friends got together and would assemble all the children into this one room, and they would give us work. Okay. So that's what I mean. The parents got engaged. And I think in this day and age, a lot of parents just don't want to do that.
Okay.
It's not that they don't have the time. They just don't want to do it.
So I'll throw another question at you. So then would you say that technology, again, advancing with technology, is making the style of parenting lazier? Because, like, again, now you're saying, like, they don't want to engage. Like, so the students, it's a learned behavior, whether they want to engage or not. Like, that's a learned behavior. When I'm talking about the parenting, like, let's say we're at a restaurant, there's a 2-year-old crying. Right? The way the parent gets that 2-year-old to shut up, instead
they
give him a phone, like, to cop it out. Like, so it's like there's no learning lesson there. There's no objective to.
I disagree because it could be. It depends on how you go about it. Okay. Because even with my grandchildren, I pass them my phone sometimes. Okay. My oldest 2 grandchildren can read above, like way above their level, And I think that's because when I hand them my phone, like, they're not just playing games on my phone. Like, I downloaded ABC Mouse when my 2 oldest grandchildren lived with me. I downloaded ABC Mouse. I, as the grandparent, still had to be engaged to show them. So I was still sitting there with them, showing them. And then when they got it on their own, then I was able to sit back, but I still monitored what websites they went on. My 7-year-old grandson, like I said, he's smart as a whip. So, like I said, I don't think it makes parents lazier. I think it's how the parents choose to engage with their children. Instead of just passing them the phone, sit there with them.
Gotcha. So it's the intention behind the use of technology which makes it more engaging for you. So then, when I'm thinking about that process, right? You have a husband. And his intention behind the technology, like, I don't think there's a lot of true intentions on how he uses technology. Because, again, if he thinks old school versus new school, the old school way is just practical. It's simple for him.
Not even that. That's just what he's used to.
Okay.
He's used to the old school way.
And so you're trying to push him into.
And so I'm trying to push him into technology.
Okay.
Because I feel that, like I said, wherever you go, technology is there.
Okay.
At home, at work, at church, at school, at the club, wherever you go, it's there. And so, yes, I'm trying to push him into technology because, like I said, it's the wave of the future. That's what it is. Okay. It's the wave of the future, and it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So we may as well embrace it, learn how to use it, advance with it instead of staying stagnant.
Gotcha.
And that's my take on it. Prime example, like with the house, like I told you earlier, I'm trying to integrate the house into a smart house. The reason I'm trying to do that is because, for one, I think it'll save on our energy bill. Okay. Prime example, matter of fact, right here. So when we hit that switch, all 3 of these lights come on. Okay. I can make it where all 3 of these lights work, but I can say, turn off light 1 and light 2 and just have light 3 on. Okay. So it saves on the energy bill. If I leave the house, and I've done it several times and forgot to lock the door, I can go right on my phone, lock my door. So that's security for me.
Okay.
I can check my phone to see if all my lights are off, if all my doors are locked. My slow cooker, I can even check that on my phone and say, turn it off, turn it on this time. I want it to shut off this time.
Okay.
And so it simplifies my life. And I think a lot of people won't embrace it because they're scared of it. So we fear what we don't know.
Gotcha.
And so they don't embrace it. Some people just like they just comfortable. They comfortable like this is what I know. And again, I think that still even goes back to fear. I don't know it. So why would I want to learn that?
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you seem like you're very in tune with, again, that process of seeking. You know, that may come a lot from, you know, your faith based, like we're not going to really touch there, but it just seems like you're in tune with seeking something out. And
I know that doesn't has anything to do with faith. That's just me. That's fact. Me seeing that technology is going to keep advancing. Like I was just telling someone 20, 30 years ago, who would have thought that you could push a button and your car would start up? Yeah. Or you can type in directions and your car would take you there. Okay. I don't know if you know what the Jetsons is. Yeah, but I do. I mean, really, we thought, oh, that was just a cartoon. Okay, with the Jetsons, when they used to be downstairs at the door and they ring the bell and they would pop up on the TV, that's our FaceTime now. Yeah. You know, that's our Zoom now. I never would have gathered in a million years that this would become reality. The Jetsons. Yeah. And so, like I said, it's going to keep advancing. It's going to keep advancing. And so, like I said, it's not faith-based. It's just what I see, what I know. Okay. And if I feel like if I don't embrace it, I'm going to be left behind. Like I said, have you seen people where they're just like, oh, I don't know anything about that? Like, to prime example, today at church, one of the ladies at church, she's older than I am. She had a pop-up on her phone. Okay. And she was like, I messed my phone up. And I said, you messed your phone up? What's going on? She said, I can't get this. It was an ad. I can't get this off of my phone. I messed it up. And she was about to go pay. She said she was going to take her phone to whoever her carrier is. She said, now I got to go pay to get this fixed. Okay. I said, it's a pop-up. Click the X. It's going to go off. She said, I did that. It wouldn't go off. So I said, oh, well, go into your settings because it was actually an app she had downloaded by mistake. She didn't know. Okay. And so it was giving her a lot of pop-ups. So I went in her settings, looked for her app, saw the app, deleted the app, and she was so amazed.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, so I mean, it goes back to that intent. Because, you know, my use of technology, obviously, I would say is on par with yours. Where, you know, I'm looking at technology and I'm seeing how it's advancing and I'm seeing how, you know, it makes a lot of things easier. Mm-hmm. My mom, your sister, I'm trying to get her to, you know, advance a little bit as well. Like last night we had a conversation, you know, I was walking her through the steps of how to sign in to HBO Max, how to, you know, get to a Zoom link, how to like try to see it through the screen. Mm-hmm. And we were having difficulties and it kind of like brought me back to, again, what was my intent behind trying to teach her how to use it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, she was being patient with it. But then again, on her side, her computer's out of date. Like, it's not like the best computer, you know, like it's an old school computer. So it runs a little bit slower. Their technology is connected to everything in the house, but that slows it down because they don't know how to wire it correctly. So when it goes back to that intention on how you're using technology, you know, like that's where I feel like, again, you know, my mom could be way better at technology, but her circumstances and where she is in her present time slows her down with the use of technology. Mm-hmm. So I definitely see where you're going. I like, again, how you view technology because, again, you could be stuck in your ways. You could be like, nah, I'm good, and just wipe your hands with it. I have my house, my kids are gone, you know, I got your, like, you know, you've done everything. But the fact that you aren't trying to be left behind kind of makes me feel better about, again, older generations. Like, because you got to think, you know, those stereotypes, older generation, and like the stereotypes, some are true, but they're true for a reason, but then, you know, they're generalizing you guys. And you're pretty much saying, like, no, I'm good. I'm in tune with what's going on around me. And I think when people are just in tune, it makes us a better people. So I think it just goes back to that genuine intention. And I'm proud of you. Like,
yeah, me too. I mean, really, you can go on YouTube.
Okay.
As human beings are more visual.
Yeah.
Like we have to see it. And most human beings are like this. We're visual beings. Mm-hmm. We have to see it in order to understand it. Another prime example is when I'm at work and I get new people in and I'm training them, and they had these people sitting in a class for a whole week. Okay. Sitting in a class reading out of a pamphlet to them. Okay. And this was before I was a trainer. And one of the ladies came out on the floor and she said, I don't know anything they were talking about. Like, I know nothing. And then they just threw her out on the floor. They like, okay, you had the training, you ready to go. And so I said, well, what did they show you? Because she said she had just came out of training. I said, what did they show you? And she said, well, they were saying something about, and I knew what she was talking about because I know the machine. Okay. She said they were saying something about the pull belts, and if you open the pull belts, and I said, oh, come here, I can show you. Right? I showed her one time. And she said, oh, it's that simple? And I said, yeah. So she said, do you mind if I ask them if I can just shadow you for a week?
To get the job.
No, she had the job.
Well, I'm saying like understand.
To understand how these machines work. I said, yeah, sure. Okay. She shadowed me for 1 week. That same lady that shadowed me, I'm going to her now, asking her, hey, I'm having this problem. What would you do about this? Okay. So because it was more hands-on for her, she's seen it. She's seen me actually doing it. And so after they saw that how Maria caught on after she shadowed me for a week, they asked me to become a trainer. And that's what I was telling them. I said, we cannot just sit and read out of a pamphlet to someone. I said, we have to bring them out here, show them what it's all about. I said, I even went on YouTube. I told her, I said, hey, go on YouTube and type in the name of this machine. Yeah. I said, that's what I did. I said, and they showed me everything from how they built the machine. Mm-hmm. I said, and so now when maintenance comes out to my machine, like I can't fix it because I'm not allowed to. But when maintenance comes out to my machine, I can say, oh, well, I think this is what's wrong. And I learned this stuff from YouTube. Yeah. Like I didn't go take no kind of special classes. Yeah. I went on YouTube.
And YouTube is plentiful.
Even with my car. Yeah. With my car, I went on YouTube. Like, how do I change this alternator? I went on YouTube. And so that's what I mean. Technology is, it blows me away sometimes. Yeah. So when I see something that fascinating, like I can just go on a phone and look at a video.
And it gives you step by step with visuals.
With visual.
To get there.
And so that's technology. Okay. And so that's why I think that everybody should embrace it instead of just fighting it. Like, I don't want to do it and that's stupid. Like I said, we fear the unknown. Mm-hmm. And people are afraid, like maybe that I'll mess something up. But I'm like, if you mess it up, go watch the video again. Yeah. That's it. So yeah. That's why I think people should embrace technology, advance with technology, because like I said, it's not going anywhere.
Okay. And I think that your points are very valid. Today, I wanted to see your perspective on it. Things I'm pulling away is intention is key. Like what's the intent behind the technology? Mm-hmm. Parents, if you're going to use the technology, try sitting there with them to actually make sure it's a game mm-hmm. that's engaging and stimulating their mind. I saw a lot of pretty much contagious diffusion, where it's you see something, it's cool, or see something and it's like, oh, that's how you do it, and then you can do it yourself mm-hmm. and integrate it and get a little twist on there. So I like those diffusions. I like the intent. I even like the overall feel of, again, if everyone can stop being fearful, if everyone can just give something a chance, whether that's technology, if we branch off, that's just people, that's interacting with new people, that's interacting in new settings, trying something different. I think we become holistic as a person. Like you just
Exactly.
become well rounded.
Exactly.
So yeah, so it's your boy Z. This is my fabulous Aunt Nelly, and we are out.